Hello everyone. So today's topic for our notes is going to be prime factorization. Now, before we talk about prime factorization, we need to review some vocabulary words. And those are a prime and composite number. So a prime number is any number with only two factors, 1 and itself. So some examples we have are 2, 3, 5, 7. All of these numbers I can only multiply by that number and 1. So if you need help remembering, you can say this little saying, at 2:35, meet me at 7:11. Those are some examples of your most common prime numbers that we'll see. A composite number is any number with more than two factors. So an example of a composite number could be 10. So I know I can multiply 1 times 10 or 2 times 5 to give me 10. So since I have more than two factors, that is why 10 is composite. Now something else you need to make note of is that 0 and 1 are neither prime nor composite. Okay, once again, they are not prime or composite. Now let's practice figuring out if we have prime or composite numbers. So I want to know 20. Is it prime or is it composite or neither? Hopefully you said it is composite, all right, because I have multiple factors. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 4 times 5 all give me 20. So therefore it is composite. 17. Is this prime, composite, or neither? Hopefully you said prime because the only numbers I can multiply to get 17 is 1 times 17. And the last one, 1. Is it prime, composite, or neither? Hopefully we paid attention to the first slide because neither is the correct answer. Now, let's talk about what in the world is prime factorization. Prime factorization is when we break down a composite number, okay, and we put it into exponential notation. If you remember from our previous notes, remember exponential sounds like exponents, so we're going to use exponents to do this. So our first step is to create a factor tree. So underneath 40, you're going to want to draw some lines that are kind of going to act like branches. Now ask yourself, what are two numbers when I multiply that gives me 40? Well, I know 4 times 10. I also know 2 times 20, okay, or 5 times 8. I could have used any of those factors. The popular numbers people were using today were 4 and 10. Now, the next step is going to be circle any prime numbers. Well, ask yourself, do I have any prime numbers here? The answer is no. So I need to keep going with my branches. So two numbers when I multiply that give me 4 are 2 and 2. And then two numbers when I multiply by 10 are 2 and 5. Now ask yourself again, when I'm at this stage, do I have any prime numbers? If you said yes, you're correct. So what I'm going to have to do is circle my prime numbers. I know 2 is prime as well as 5. Now I want to put my numbers in expanded notation. Okay, remember expanded, we talked about, think of a rubber band, we stretched it out. So it's going to be the stretched out version. So I'm going to write 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. So this is my expanded notation. Now I need to write it in exponential. So when we write this in exponential, you need to ask yourself, do I have any numbers that repeat? If you said yes, okay, that number we're going to have to make into an exponent. So I see that 2 repeats 3 times. So I'm going to write a base of 2 and then count. Since 2 repeats 1, 2, 3 times, my exponent will be 3. Then I'm going to write times. Now you're going to look to see, do I have any other numbers that repeat? No, I just have the 5 left. So I'm going to write times 5. And that would be the prime factorization of 40. 2 cubed times 5. So on your own right now, I want you to do the prime factorization of 250. Now, there are multiple factors you can use. There is no right or wrong answer when determining out of all the factors of 250 which ones to use. As long as you end up with the same answer, you're good to go. So please take a moment and try this on your own. Go ahead and pause the video. All right, so hopefully you did the prime factorization of 250. Now, in my example, I'm going to go ahead and use 25 and 10. If you used 125 and 2, that's okay. All right, that was another popular one that people were using today. If you're ever stuck on what numbers are factors, well, look, 250 is an even number. So since it's an even number, I know 2 is a factor. It also ends in a 0, so I could use 10 or I could use a 5. So those are little hints that are going to help you out. Now, let's ask yourself, do I have any prime numbers? No. So I'm going to keep going. I know 5 times 5 gives me 25. And I know for 10, 2 times 5 gives me 10. Ask yourself again, do I have any prime numbers? I sure do, so I'm going to circle them. Now I need to write this in expanded notation. So I have 5 times 5 times 2 times 5. Now we need to write it in exponential. Do I have any numbers that repeat? I sure do. I have 5 that repeats. So I'm going to write my base. And since it repeats 3 times, my exponent will be 3. And I'm going to finish this off by writing times 2. You also could have written this as 2 times 5 cubed, and it means the exact same thing. So if you used a different factor than 25 and 10, but ended up with the same answer, great job. So now let's talk about your assignment for today. So we are going to be using quizzes for your assignment. So in your stream, you should see this announcement. Please join my class on quizzes using the link below. When you click the link, it's going to ask you to create an account. So what should pop up is this right here. Now my account's already linked, but if it asks you which account to use, please choose your Google account, okay? Use your Google account that is linked to your NEISD student account. Once you click that, it should bring you to this right here. You'll see you'll have your name. You don't have to put in your parents' email, it's optional. All it does is send them a summary of your assignments. And you would press accept invite, and that means you joined the class. Now, to access the assignment for today, you will go over to classwork, and you will scroll down to week 3. You'll see your prime factorization homework. Now, there are 2 links that are available for you to use. If you're on a computer, you'll use the web link. If you're on a phone or an iPad, you can use the mobile link, okay? and it will take you to your homework assignment. If I just click on the link, you'll see that it's asking me which account to use. All right, and this is just for me because I don't have the account made for the student version. Okay, so please make sure before you click on that link that you click the invite on the stream first. If you have any questions, go ahead and reach out to your teacher and we will be able to help you. And this homework is due the next time we meet.